How you doing? Tom from the Rusty Rivet. We're going to do a quick setup here. There's two things you're going to need to figure out if you buy the Fortis 270 XT in the US, and I'll help you get set up on that. So follow along and here we go. All right, so if you get this machine, it's going to come with this end on it. It's meant to wire up to 3-phase or single phase. On this machine, I've purchased two of these machines. One of them's going in a shop that's 3-phase, and one of them's home use, okay? And that is gonna be single phase. So it limits us a little bit on the output of the machine, but it'll still put out, I think 210 amps, which will be good. All right, so we have 4 wires coming out of this. And I checked with my service rep, and I want to say that I put a message on the Fronius Facebook page, and within, I think, 2 minutes, I got a response from my sales rep on a Friday night at like 8 p.m. Okay, if that says anything about their service. I see sometimes there's comments about their service. Some people say it's great, some people say it isn't. My experience so far has been amazing. Okay. We have a green wire, we have a black wire, we have a white wire, and we have a red wire. In the US, we have 220 single phase or we have 3-phase, which breaks down into a bunch of different subcategories. All right, we're not getting into that. My 3-phase machine, I'm having an electrician hook it up. It's just standard operating procedure for that shop. So on this machine, all right, we're not going to use the red. We're going to use the white, which is going to be one hot leg. We're going to use the black, which is going to be one hot leg. And then the green is ground. All right. So we're going to hook that up right now. I'm going to show you how. All right. So I'm over here on the workbench. I got this plug-in from Amazon. It looks pretty rigid, okay? It looks as rigid as anything I'd get in any of the big box stores, or for that matter, the electrical supply store. Actually, the cost of the plugs, I think I picked this up on Amazon for like $19. I went to my electrical supply store. There's nothing we could do for you. It's $44. It's because of all the current tariffs and all that nonsense. All right. So your best bet's Amazon. I like supporting local, but I also got to. Okay, so now we have now we have our plug end on. All right, plug it into single phase. So I did the plug. That was step one. Got to get power to the machine. The next thing I did, and you do not have to do this. You don't have to do any of this, but you don't have to do this. What I did was, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of steel and a lot of aluminum. Okay, 50-50 on what I do. So I got an extra gun. All right, they're not cheap. All right, but I think it's going to help me out in just being more efficient around the shop. These guns are really nice. They have a couple options here. They have a plus and minus, okay, hot or colder, I believe, or I should say more wire speed, less wire speed. I have to look into if they change the voltage or if they change the wire speed. All right, we have a trigger and there's a headlight on it. Okay, look at that little LED. You know how when you're welding and you can't really see where you're going? I think this is going to help a lot. I think that's a game changer right there. Not sure, but just making a guess. All right, so I got one for aluminum, one for steel. The aluminum gets a graphene liner. I believe it's graphene. Graphite coated anyhow. It's plastic, sort of composite. I don't know if I want to call it plastic, but all right. And this is your standard stainless steel liner. Okay, that's going in that gun. The other thing is they give you a red tip. This is the retainer that holds the liner in, and a blue, so you can identify easily which one is in the machine, blue or red. Okay, aluminum or steel. I'm going to say aluminum's blue, steel's red. And I'm assuming I want to uncoil this so it's as straight as possible. But I want you to be able to see both ends here. Okay. So we have two ends to this liner. We have the metal end, all right, that goes towards the gun. And we have the graphene end. All right. I just did that backwards. In the magic of YouTube, that only took 2 seconds, but in real life, that took me about, I'd say 20 minutes to get this liner all the way through and get it past the ball joint right here and up here, and it's got to stick through here, all right? Then you push it back, or pull on this end, I should say. That might be easier. You got to straighten it out. This is an extremely long lead. All right, this brass cap goes back on. Let me try feeding this out just a little more. All right, I got this right even with the end. This is going to be my aluminum because it's the graphene liner, so I'm going to go with the blue identifier, we'll call it, the retainer. I'm going to screw my contact tip in. All right, and it kind of pushed it in just a little bit. That goes on. That goes on. All right, and then okay, let me show you how this goes in the machine. All right, you open those up. You pull that open. That's your quick release. All right, you can see it's a little dark in here. The blue tip sticks through. All right. There's literally, if we pull this apart, let me just show you. This is, I think, how they get away from any birds nesting issues. So you have that drive roll, that drive roll. They're running off a central drive roll in here. And then a brass tube goes from that wheel to that wheel. And then this picks it up right there. So there's very little area that is allowed to bird's nest. 0.9 to 1.0 aluminum. So I'm going to take these out. They're all the same. So you can get a good look. There's one drive gear right in here. Goes in like that. That locks in. Don't forget to put this tube in here. Goes in one way. Okay. This goes back on. Tensioner closes. And I do want to show you this. This has a shelf to store your components in there. All right, I'm going to speed this process up because I don't think you want to watch me do that all over again. There's just one little part I want to show you. All right, I'm lucky they sent me another one because I did what they said not to do. Okay, I kinked it. Okay, this is the metal liner. I suppose I could bend it back. I don't want to be messing with that. All right, they sent me an extra liner, so I'm going to use it. They want you to cut these flush with the end. Okay, I made sure I had the liner come out just a little bit, and I screwed the contact tip in so it pushed the liner back in, so I know there's no play in it. Let's see if that cuts better. Okay, the one thing I wanted to show you, you want to make sure after cutting that there's a perfect circle in there, okay? You don't want this piece to gouge your wire out, okay? They actually show that you could file that. Okay, and on this one, I'm going to put the red retainer. That's just a 1/4 turn. So now I have the red one for steel, matches with the red wheels, and the blue for aluminum, matches with the blue wheels. A real quick change out. There we go. All right, so now I have a gun for each. And looking back at this, after what I just went through to change them, I am so glad I bought that extra gun. If you think you're going to be doing aluminum and steel on and off, as much money as that is, I feel that it's money well spent and efficiency in your shop. All right, thanks for tuning into the Rusty Rivet. We'll see you.